All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this amazing exclusive episode of the Reality Kenyan. Of course, this is a new week and we have new issues that we are going to talk about. And as usual, join us with your friends, share with everyone, because this is where we have the real issues. And joining us once again every week is the Deputy Party Leader, Safina Party, Honorable Wakili Willis Otieno PIKI PONKI. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
You're looking good, man.
I'm looking good. Thank you very much.
Very
good.
fresh.
I can see Kabunda airstrip is doing when I gave you
did you have to say that?
A souvenir jacket.
No,
that is very good.
You can't call my suit a jacket.
I can see that you've taken an airline to your village, right?
Yes,
You're
yes.
doing well.
You see, right now, Homa Bay County is the epitome of transport business in the entire South
You're
Gaza.
trying. You're trying. Keep at it.
Yeah, it was good,
it was
and
good.
I really wish you were there.
Yes.
But due to your schedule, we understand.
Yes.
Yes.
So now, yesterday I had a conversation with young people.
Yes.
Where we were discussing about the finance bill. And in fact, today's issue, I want to make it very succinct.
Yes.
What emerged from the proceedings is that what Kenya Kwanza is trying to do
Yes.
is an impossibility. It took President Kibaki 10 years to move our revenue from 290 billion to almost 100 billion. Each year progressively, it was increasing by around 80 billion. It took Uhuru Kenyatta to move it from around 900 billion to 1.8 trillion. Again, 10 years to approach the 1 trillion mark. The present administration, through the finance bill, wanted to raise 1 trillion in 1 year.
What took
took the other administrations 10 years to approach. So what it means is this, that probably these people just want to bleed us. Because nothing has changed tremendously that you can say justifies our revenue rising so exponentially within a year. The growth rate of our revenue per year is always between 80 to 100 billion. And that is also informed by what economic policies or measures we've taken that have provided opportunity for growth for business, so the private sector where you're collecting the money. So this attempt to raise 1 trillion out of the same economy when there's been no significant change is an impossibility. It will not happen. Within 1 year, it will not happen. And unless it's like saying you have 2 cows and you want to, and your cows all produce 10 liters of milk per day. Now you want to force the cows to produce 50 liters of milk. That is as good as you are going to be skinning the udder. You can't milk that cow. There's nothing. The cow will only give you what it can produce based on what you fed it. So you can't double. In this case, it's almost 10 times, raising it 10 times within a year. That is an impossibility. And as I said before, the thirst for money is informed by their desire to run away from the real problem of the day. The real problem being, next year they're supposed to pay 1.7 trillion in debt. And their collection this year is 1.8 trillion. So 100% of all they collected this year, if they maintain the same collection, all of it goes to debt. So they're trying to create a cushion by raising an extra 1 trillion for government to be able to survive. But you don't do it by forcing Kenyans. So there is no, even if you wanted to, even if you put all these tax measures, you will not raise it. So what this administration has to do is to confront the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room, as I always said, is the debt. Yes.
And yesterday, actually, during the presser with the content creators, the group has also been complaining of late because of the 15% that is targeted towards them. And we also saw your party leader together with you at the presser addressing the issues that are now facing the country. And he said that we have 3 options to face the debt. And maybe someone may not understand, apart from the defaulting the debt, the other 2 options, how are they?
One option that we have is reschedule. So that means you call all the three groups, letters that we have, called the Chinese, called the London group, called the Paris Club.
Yes.
They all come to a table, people discuss, negotiate and agree that the debts which are maturing this year, let's postpone them. Give us a breather, 5 years, 10 years. We agree on terms.
And so it's possible?
It's possible. It has been done before. When Moi was president in the 90s, when you're not able to pay your debts, you call people and you negotiate.
Yeah.
The only challenge that I know this administration will have is that one of the terms of the money lent by the London group, the Eurobonds, some of the terms provide that if you reschedule any of your existing debts, then their payment becomes due immediately. Because they gave you money based on your promise that this is our financial position, these are our debt portfolio, we are able to pay. If you renegotiate any of your existing debts, or even you attempt to reschedule, our payment is made, you pay us back our money immediately. And what they must be paid is 1 trillion. So before the meeting starts, you write a check for 1 trillion to the London group. Of course, it means that that option is very difficult. It's possible, but extremely difficult, almost impossible. Then the other option which our party leaders have been advocating also is we declare this debt odious. Let's do an audit, because as per the forensic audit that he commissioned, Kibaki handed over to Uhuru debts of 2.3 trillion. Parliament approved during Uhuru's 10 years in office debts of only 2 trillion. That makes our debt books to be 4.3 trillion. If you go to central bank accounts, which are issued every 2 weeks, released every 2 weeks, we've paid debts of 5.4 trillion.
Over 1.1 trillion.
Yes. So if we just take what our parliament approved, because also debt, you cannot take a debt without parliamentary approval. Parliament must approve any loan that the government of Kenya is going to take. So parliament in 10 years, in the Appropriations Act, that is where it is captured, only approved debts of 2 trillion. So plus Kibaki is 4.3.
That is 2.3, that is
4.3. So then we've paid 5.4 as per our central bank books. So it means we are owed money.
And we still have another...
But if you go to central bank books again, they tell you that fine, we've paid 5.4 trillion, but in our debt book, we owe people 9.2 trillion. So what are we paying? That is why you were saying, number one, we only take responsibility for the debts approved by our parliament. Then number two, do an audit, which is this debt that is never going down when we've paid 5.4 trillion. So you do an audit, and any debt that was taken illegally without following the laws of Kenya, then it's an odious debt. We declare that we are not going to pay. And we say, let the banks and those who lend money to government, they suffer the loss. It should not be transferred to the sovereign. Why should I underwrite a bank that was reckless to borrow money to government when the laws didn't allow for that kind of borrowing? In Mozambique, there was what they call tuna bond, where the government of Mozambique had taken $2 billion US sovereign guarantee. A group went to court, and the court said that is not, there was no parliamentary approval.
It was not approved by the...
It was not approved by the parliament. And the court said that is not a debt of Mozambique. Why should the people of Mozambique pay that kind of a debt? It's not their debt. Their representatives in parliament didn't approve it. So why should they be asked to pay for it? And the court said no. So that is also what we are saying here. It's an option. Let's look at this debt. If that debt is not in our books, was not approved by our parliament, and some bank decided to issue a debt without looking into our law, it's what we call buyer beware. If you gave out your money to the government without following the due process of the law, then that is not our debt. You're deni atulipi.
And do you think it must have happened?
It has, of course, because I'm telling you, all borrowing must be approved by parliament. And when parliament is approving borrowing, it is very specific to the detail. It says you want to build this road. We are going to fund it using tax revenue, 40%. 60 revenue, we'll take a loan from China, Exim. It is indicated in the appropriations bill. Amount is indicated, project is indicated. Then that money is taken, the bad bill is taken to Parliament. Parliament votes to say yes, approved. President signs it into law. That is the Appropriations Act. So every debt that is supposed to be taken by Kenya government must have gone through Parliament. And Parliament must have approved it. Then also the PFM Act in Section 15 does not allow for taking a loan for recurrent expenditure. You only take a loan for development. Okay?
And what's the difference? Maybe
recurrent expenditure is paying salaries, government operations. But development expenditure is when you take a loan and use money for building, for example, a road, a dam, putting up a school. So what you call capital investments by government, the developments by government. That is what you can take a loan for. So you cannot take a loan to go and pay Kenyan people's salaries. That's recurrent. We should be able to collect money to pay our own salaries. But maybe you want to build a road, you want to build an airport, to build a school. Then you can take a loan. And that loan also, before you take it, Parliament must approve it. So Parliament of Kenya, in the Appropriations Act from 2013 to 2022, only approved debts worth 2 trillion. The Parliament of Kibaki plus what was inherited from Moise, only 2.3 trillion. That brings you to a total of 4.3. You understand? So that is what us as people of Kenya we know. Anything above that, where did you get the authority to lend it? And as a bank, you have to be prudent.
Even the lenders.
The lender has to be prudent, because even you, if you go to the bank to take a loan, the bank will do due diligence on you. They must, you say you work at X, they must go to company X to confirm if you work there. Do you have your pay slip? You get. So even for a country, when they come to borrow from you, you should ask them, what does your law say about borrowing?
What is the process?
The law says you must get parliamentary approval. What are you borrowing for? Is it development or recurrent? If it is for development, has Parliament passed it? Because Parliament is a sovereign body. If it has not passed it, you should tell government, no, this loan is not approved by your people. Because if you fail, it's a sovereign debt. If you fail, it's your people who will pay me back. That is what makes government a strong borrower. Because the people are the ones who back it. And if Parliament fails, if the government fails to pay, you go back to the people. And the people will pay it. Now, in this case, if the people say, we did not approve that loan, where will the bank go?
So what is the solution out of all this?
The solution is
at this point we have loans that were not approved, but they were taken. We don't know what they were used for, and we don't know whom they were channeled to, and we have to pay them.
That is why I said we've given 3 options: reschedule, default, or declare ODS. Let the people of Kenya discuss these 3 options, and if we determine that we do an audit and determine that this debt is not our money, we never took it. It was not approved in the manner we provide in our laws. Then the Kenya people have a right to say, we are not paying, won't pay, can't pay, won't pay. Let the banks and the lenders go and find who they gave the money. If the people of Kenya decide that we are going to default, because we can't afford it. You can't raise 1 trillion in 1 year. That is also an option. The other option is you can go and try to reschedule. And you hope that the London group will not insist on their 1 trillion before the talks begin. So we are in a very difficult position. It is not as simple as it appears. And at some point, hard choices will have to be made. And we believe we are the only party. Safina party is the only party that has come up with proposals on the table on what needs to be done. And we hope that the others will also come up with their proposals. The proposal by Kenya Kwanza, in my view, will not survive. It will not work. It doesn't work. But it's good they're trying. You know, also we say that let everybody bring their proposal to the table, and then we discuss and debate which is the best. And because I believe even Baba came up with his proposal in response to the Kenya Kwanza proposal. I believe everybody is acting in the best interest of the country. And we are saying our proposal is backed by evidence. We've learned from experience of other countries. Ghana, Sri Lanka, Argentina, Peru, Greece, which have gone through these processes, and some of them are still going through it. And that is why we say consider these three options, and which one, because all of them present pain, but which one, in the circumstances, is less painful. I saw somebody say that even a little poison is still a teaspoon of poison is still poison to kill you. Ours, unfortunately, ours on the other hand is not poison. Ours is just to mitigate the effect of an economic meltdown. Yes. And
as we come to the end, Wakili, you see, over the weekend there were some proposals coming from the current administration that now the house tax is now coming from 3% to 1.5%. And if suppose they go with that, what do you think it means to the Kenyans, and will it still be achievable according to the
you know, for me, the people of Kenya were not debating more about the amount. It was more the principle. So the principle was why have this housing levy, this hard tax? That is the principle. That why should I pay money for government to build houses or to underwrite for private developers? So the people of Kenya were rejecting more the principle, not even the amount. People are not saying that 3% is too high. But you see, Kenya Kwanza, to them they took it that if you reduce it, then maybe you'll get public buy-in. But the people of Kenya don't want to pay even 50 shillings into a government kitty to underwrite for private developers to build those houses. Because the whole thing is not properly set up. You don't even know the structures that are, there are no structures, so to speak, under which this fund is going to be administered. And who told you I want the government to build for me a house? Why can the government, as I said last week, create an enabling environment and allow the private sector to determine where they will put up the houses? Government should come out of borrowing, domestic lending, borrowing, and allow the private sector to give loans to us so that we can be able to access loans within the banks and build houses across the country as private sector at a cost that people can afford. Yes.
Wow. And yesterday you had a meeting with the youths and the young content creators. What can you say about the general view of content creators currently, and the proposal that is coming up for them to pay 15% and their outcry? Because I'm sure they tabled that to you and your party leaders.
We will say that in terms of taxation, these content creators, these are people who are still innovative and trying to emerge and to earn a living. You don't start killing an industry even before it cements itself. I do believe that government needs to nurture them, and even if there was a proposal to tax people who are creating in the digital space, you don't do it immediately. I mean, give people grace periods even of 10 years or 5 years before you can start taxing them, because they're still incubating themselves. And even if you look at the equipment they use, they are very rudimentary. And that sector, whatever they are earning, can barely even feed these young people. So we should not be also becoming too quick to try to kill whatever enterprise they're trying to set up by imposing taxation on them. Ideally, what we need to do is to build their capacities, help them build their capacities, incubate them to become what you call respectable entities that are earning reasonable sums of money. Then once they're incubated and they're able to flourish, then you can make a business case why they should be taxed. But if you just say content creators, they're not even defined. There's no kind of intervention you've done to build their capacities, to expose them. Then you just want to collect their money from them. That I believe is too harsh on content creators. And they should not be, at this point in our history, I don't believe that there's a case has been made out for those who are doing content creation to be taxed. Because some of them don't even earn. They are just trying to expose themselves. They are trying to create what you call traffic to their pages. So why do you want to tax such a person if he doesn't earn out of it? Then even what they're earning is very erratic. There is no institutionalized way in which even they're earning. So those are some of the things that you need to work on. Incubate them, institutionalize them, give them a good platform that they are able to now earn a significant sums of money. Then you can make a business case why they should participate.
Actually, majority are just from campus. Actually, you saw them yesterday. Some very young people. So as we wind up, Wakili, as the deputy party leader of Safina Party, I want you to take this moment and address Kenyans, the youth and the Kenyans who are watching this show, based on what way forward Safina Party has for the country.
We are going through the third and final liberation of the country, and that is the economic liberation. And that liberation is going to be won by the young people. When Kenya fought for the first liberation, the fight for independence, it took the young people of Kenya then, Akina Jaramogi, Tom Mboya, Jomo Kenyatta was senior, who came out strongly to lead the fight for that new liberation. When we fought for second liberation, again it took young people like Raila Odinga, Kenneth Matiba, Charles Rubia, James Orengo. They were called the young Turks, who took to the forefront to fight for the second liberation. That was a liberation to anchor our political rights, that now we should be able to choose our leaders, and we should be able to freely express ourselves. The third liberation, again, now is here with us, where we are going to fight for economic empowerment of our people. It is upon the young people to rise up, just like those former young people rose up and fought and they achieved. We must stand up and we must fight until every Kenyan is economically free and is able to participate in our economy. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Wakili.
Thank you.
May God bless you. Of course, everyone who has been watching, thank you so much. This is the Reality Kenya. Until next time, share with your friends. My name is Simi Kenya. May God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.